Good morning. I read something this morning in my morning Lenten meditation that I wanted to share with y'all. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to pull it up on my phone while I'm doing this live. So I hope it's going to let me. Oh, good. I'm still there. I hope. Are we still here? My father didn't tell me how to live. He lived and let me watch him do it, is the quote that I read in case it cut off while I was going to the quote. So, what really struck me is that, boy, isn't this a time for parents to show their children how to live? No, it's not necessarily a time to tell them this and that, but it's a time to show them. Something, I know that I bring this up a lot, but this is something that a lot of people have trouble with, which is anxiety, fear of the unknown. And that's something we're facing right now, is the unknown. So I was brought up in an atmosphere of, my mother was a very anxious person, and her mother was a very anxious person. So what was modeled for me was a lot of anxiety. And as an adult, I have had to deal with that. It's been a wonderful challenge. Isn't that what I can say now that I'm at the other side for the most part? While I was, experiencing a lot of anxiety in my life and dealing with it, it wasn't so wonderful. But I tell you what, when there's a need for change, something that I have learned to do, for the most part, okay, definitely not perfect, is instead of looking at it as a reason to fear, I look at it as a challenge, an opportunity, as what is open to me here, not what's closed for me, but what good is there in this? Because, there's just good in almost everything, possibly everything, and sometimes we have to realize that in retrospect. But I try to keep a positive attitude in the now. And it's just really served me well. And I just wanted to, I'm not going to go on long here. I just want to say, parents, this, and aunts and uncles and grandparents and relatives, people who are around children and teenagers, this is your golden opportunity to model for them, not just being a talking head, but be an example. And today, especially on the Feast of St. Joseph, particularly you might want to think about that and how, in the Bible, we don't hear much from St. Joseph at all. He doesn't actually speak. There are no quotes from him. We just read about what he did, and then we are left to understand that he must have been a pretty okay guy to have raised Jesus, right? So how did that happen? Well, he must have given a good example. And I bet they must have talked too, because he passed on his trade of carpentry, and I'm sure that they talked while they were doing that. But more importantly, he set an example. So whatever we're doing today, wherever we are, let's set a good example. And it wouldn't hurt to set a good example for anybody we're around, not just the kids. Okay, well, good morning to you.